Hi, cuties. I know, mozzarella mouse on a Monday. Who'd have imagined? But I have a very special Hi, Dot. I have a very special reason to be playing on a Monday today because we need moonstones. And Monday is the day to get them. Literally, it's the only day. But I hope everybody is having a lovely Monday evening. See, I just said what day it was, and my brain's still blanked in saying what day it was. Hi, Whoopie. How are you doing on this lovely Monday? We are, of course, playing some Pokemon Crystal. We have a special mission today. I even put it in the title, so hopefully I'll actually remember instead of getting distracted. Also, Dot is sitting on my desk, like, right beside the microphone. And she's congested again, which I'm not happy about. Just chillin'. I'm literally chilling because it's like 20 degrees colder today than it was yesterday. Okay, deposit in my apricorns. Yeah, we need some moonstones so we can evolve Nidorino and Jigglypuff. I thought I had like one or two more than I actually do. But then I remember I almost always just stream on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so I haven't really had a chance to like go get more. Yeah, I'm walking forward with purpose, trying not to get distracted by every little thing, so I'll actually go to Kanto, go to Mount Moon. Also, another cat has suddenly come to live in my house. Places cheese on your head. Delicious cheese! I guess it's on the mouse. But how are you doing today, Maddie? On this lovely Monday evening, we're on the hunt for some moonstones. But yeah, another cat has come to live here with me and Dot. I was originally going to try to put her back outside, but she's also litter trained, and she was all like super skin and bones. She's smaller than a lot of the other outside cats that live in the neighborhood, so I don't think they let her eat. But she's also been really sweet. She's still kind of getting used to being, like, in the house. She doesn't knock stuff over or cause any trouble or anything. It's more that, like, she'll come sit on me if I'm sitting down, but if I'm walking around, she'll hide under the chair like I'm going to throw her outside. Which I don't do, like, I'll open the door for her if she wants to go back outside. Yeah, her name is Julia Michelle Heineman. I guess I'll put Melosi in the box for the moment. Hi, Rain. How are you doing today on this lovely Monday evening? We got moonstones to go find. Okay, who has Rock Smash? I don't remember. Wait, does Taki still have Rock Smash? Yes, he does. All right. Okay, Jelly Belly, you can take a break. Taki needs to catch up on levels anyway. Back Horty from Family the Weekend. Boy, my dyslexia is really getting me. Is that supposed to be back home from helping family this weekend? Okay. We are in Kanto. That's why we don't talk about Bruno. Computer City. Back still hurts from helping my family this weekend. Oh, Horty. Like hurt. Oh, okay, okay. It took me a minute. We're back Horty every now and then. Hop. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I don't remember which door takes you to the Clefairy zone. The shrooms. What were you helping your family with? If you're okay with talking about it. Like, even if it's not something crazy, like, just if you don't feel like talking about it, that's cool. That is Route 4. Yeah, they're playing the special music. This little cutscene is such a cool thing. Do a living history convention once, yeah, around this time is helping with the gates. Oh, okay. They made you lift the gates on your own? Yep. Every Monday night, you can come out here and you'll find Clefairies dancing around this stone, and if you use Rock Smash on it and then inspect the tile it was on, it'll have a moonstone every time. That's why I'm there. You're a real gator. Oh, interesting, the shop is closed and the Clefairy are doing their thing, huh? What is this? Oh, it's an incense burner. Hop. Okay, well, the gatekeeping girl boss. I knew it. Well, we got the Moonstone. That was a good stream, everybody. Thank you for dropping by. I guess I'll see you Tuesday. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Since we're here, we're still going to do some grinding and stuff. They've been talking about stopping it for a couple years and selling it to someone else. I mean, I couldn't really blame them. It probably is a lot of work and stuff. There's a notice here. Stamp out thievery. Make the city a friendlier and more cheerful place. Cerulean Police. It's a lot of work, yeah. Not even a little bit surprised by that. There's a notice here. The bike shop has moved to Goldenrod City in Johto. It's locked. Bro, Lee's losing so much money on electricity. Why do the lights still come on? Oh my gosh. He's gonna bankrupture himself. It's important to be responsible with your energy usage. I also had a good number of vendors cancel, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's the last year they do it. Yeah, it's hard to, I mean, like, it's hard to make money on anything cool right now. Hi, welcome to the training hall. You may battle a trainer once per day. Cal is your opponent today. Would you like to battle? Hey, does anybody remember an Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire where people would just make secret bases with 3 Blissies that in a triple battle that only had like that one move that'll fail every time? And like, because it was so fun building up competitive teams in Oris, because like you could get EVs super fast using Horde encounters, and then you could go max out your level with the Blissey bases in like an afternoon. You could go from like having an idea for a competitive Pokemon to having it battle ready in like 2 hours. It was so freaking cool. Like, I have like 1,050 hours in Pokemon X, and then like 990 something in Omega Ruby, just because like I was so into competitive in Gen 6. I think that's when everybody got super into it, just because like with super training and being able to view your Pokemon's like IVs and EVs more easily and stuff, that the meta was just really good. I know everybody bitched about Mega Kangaskhan and stuff, but like overall, it was a lot of fun, and there were like, in Gen 6 it felt like if you had the right strategy and team composition, you could build almost any Pokemon into like a competitive Pokemon. Maybe not like Smeargle or Luvdisc, but you know, like, within reason. So much quality of life stuff that made competitive so much more accessible. It's gotten more accessible, but I just feel like the fact that every meta just turns into whatever funny gimmick Mons just take it over. Like, Gen 7 was pretty much taken over by Tapus and Ultra Beasts. And then, like, Generation 9 was pretty much just taken over by the Paradox Pokemon. And it hasn't really felt, like, from Gen 7 onward, it hasn't really felt like that same, you know, you can grab 6 Pokemon you like out of a handful and probably build something cool with them. Whether it's singles or doubles. I lost, darn. Because, like, I had this whole roller coaster, with Meowstic, because I remember when I first saw Esper, because, okay, from every Pokemon game from Gen 5 onward, I have gone in as blind as I possibly could. So I experienced every Pokemon as I encountered them. So I audibly gasped the first time I saw Esper. I fell in love with it that fast. And the one I caught just happened to be male. And I didn't, I thought it was going to have another evolution. I didn't know that the male and female ones had different ones until I encountered, like, trainers with the other Meowstic later in the game. And so, like, I'm like, oh, you know, the male Meowstic doesn't really learn any, like, cool attacking moves. And, you know, like, it feels like it should have another evolution. But then, like, when I got into VGC, I'm like, oh, no, wait. This Pokemon is amazingly cracked and does everything. But then again, like, when I first played Pokemon X and Y, I was still, like, super casual and I didn't really understand. Like, I understood a little bit of competitive stuff. You know, when I need to hop up and down on the magnet chain. Okay. But with Gen 6, like, when I really started to understand it, I started to understand, like, Pokemon having different roles in, like, team composition and stuff like that. And, you know, how to use stuff like Follow Me and Protect and Screens and all that stuff. Prefer VGC metas where it's just normal Pokemon. Yeah, I definitely prefer that. Like, I do really appreciate Scarlet and Violet having different regulations. There's more than just Big Punchy and Big Magic. Yep. Because, like, I feel like if you're trying to optimize for just single-player playthroughs, a lot of times you just get 6 really fast things with different attacking types. And maybe if you're feeling spicy, you'll try to mix it up between physical and special attackers. Which I think that is part of the reason why Chikorita is so divisive. Because it's your starter Pokemon, but it's designed to be a bulky support. But it was designed to be a bulky support in the second game in the series, where nobody understood that you could play a bulky support in a Pokemon game. He's like, I'm gonna look something up on Cerebi. Because I just got this Moonstone, and I'm gonna see if, I'm gonna see what level Nidoking learns some stuff. You know, it's weird that I don't think the Nidorans are available in any Generation 9 games. It's weird because, like, Nidoking and Nidoqueen feel like some of the, like, essential Pokemon, at least from, like, a Gen 1 perspective. Okay, so Nidoking gets Thrash at level 23. It's like, Nidoqueen gets Body Slam, which is a million times better. Thrash is Garbo, even in the older games. See here. Wait. Oh wait, no, my bad. I'm looking at fucking Gen 1. My bad. Okay. Let's look at Crystal. Okay, it's still Thrash at 23. Lame. And let's see with Nidorino. If I wait to evolve it, all I'm really getting is, like, what Focus Attack, Focus Energy, Fury Attack, and Horn Gel. Yeah, like, Nidoking and Queen are really, like, TM Pokemon, aren't they? Because, like, Horn Drill, without being able to have, shit, my brain stopped. I'm so sorry. Horn Drill's good in Gen 1. Because you can use X accuracies, but I don't think they work like that for one-hit KO moves in any other generation. Because X accuracy does not give everything perfect accuracy, it skips the accuracy check altogether. Pokemon got rid of the gender binary too hard. Gen 7 onward Nidoran aren't available outside of Gen 8 DLC. Well, I mean, they are technically available in, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But I think you still have to import them into Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. Because everything up through Generation 4 is all in BDSP. Oh no, wait, you can actually, like, I decided to just switch to the Generation 8 page. You can catch, Nidorans in BDSP in, like, Valor Lakefront and the Grand Underground, so you can get them in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Yeah, Dot's been congested. I leave the heater, even when I go to bed, I leave one of the space heaters on in the living room, and she likes to sleep in front of it because it looks like a big fireplace. But yeah, I don't know what it is with Dot. She seems to get congested really easily. That makes me a little sad. She never seems, like, naturally cold, though. Because, you know, like, sometimes you'll touch a cat and it feels like it's always cold. But she's not like that. She's pretty warm, snuggle, soft kitty. For all the cold innocents I know don't actually do this. I know. Well, it's weird, because, like, when the weather warms back up, she'll stop being congested. Just not a cold weather kitty, are you, baby? Okay, since we're right here, let's check on, Buena. Buena here. Today's password, let me think, it's antidote. Don't forget it. Don't forget the antidote. So we've been sending her kisses. Poor little, she's walking over to my lap right now. She probably heard me talking about her. Hey, little butt bite. Dot feels like she's lost a little bit of weight. I've been making sure to keep food out. I'm pro-dote, personally. I do be doting on this kitty cat. Hi, did you tune into my radio show? Do you remember today's password? Oh, wow, thank you. What's your name again? Mots? Okay. Come on, Mots, join the show. Everyone ready? Here, a shout out today's password for Mots. Antidote. Earned 1 point. Congrats! Oh yeah, I love points. Using that points to buy myself nuggets. With those really cute little ketchup dipping cups that look like a tiny fat ketchup bottle, and you peel it back, and it's got like a big dippy thing you can dip your nuggets in. I like when restaurants have those. Dote on all the cuties. That's one of the biggest things I miss from Generation 8 onward, is being able to just pet your Pokemon. I know you can pet your partner Pikachu or partner Eevee in the Let's Go games, but you really can't from any game beyond that. It irritates me even more, or I guess saddens me even more, because in Sword and Shield specifically, your Pokemon will say it wants to be petted, but you can't ever pet it. Said this multiple times, so I never imagined walking into a radio station with a booth with an active show going on. That's how you can tell this was made before 9/11. Not that walking into an active radio booth was really a thing even back then, but, you know, just the fact that, you know, breaking into a place didn't immediately get you arrested, or just going into a place uninvited, you'd be like, oh, you wacky scamp, don't you do it again. Only problem I had with that mechanic is no correlation to the friendship mechanic. I mean, honestly, I feel like it was better overall as far as readability and intuition goes, that they did stuff like changing Sylveon to being a friendship evolution. I think that was the right call. But I mean, they could just tie the two of them together. I don't know, maybe they thought that it would make it way too easy to just get, like, you know, a frame 1 Lucario. Because remember, Riolu's, like, right there at the beginning of X and Y. It's also right there at the beginning of Black 2 and White 2. Like, jokes aside, I feel like somebody in the game design area just is a really big fan of Riolu and Lucario. Unironically. Not just because of marketing and stuff and popularity. I mean, I just think, like, they just, like, hey, you want a Lucario? Because you can get a Riolu right at the beginning of X and Y, and then they infamously just give you a Lucario with a Mega Stone. It's like, I am your friend. I like you. I like digging. A lot of fans of Riolu and Lucario. Wouldn't surprise me if a dev was one of them. Bless you. It's basically a secondary mascot. Yo, let's go Riolu win. Wait, wrong box. Okay, which balls do we want today? I'm still happy about the dynamic you came up with for Lemonade and Dukes. I was actually thinking about them today at work and it made me laugh. I shall surpass my limits. No, I shall surpass the very concept of limits. I like digging. Okay, let's go for some heavy balls. I'm still not 100% used to Julia being in the house. So I always like get a little bit jumpy when like I can feel a cat walking around behind me on my chair, but Dot's sitting on my lap. Friend balls. The Whacker and the Mole, a fable. Oh, I don't think I've been updated about a second cat. Oh, well, she's only been living in the house again for a couple days. But she's a very nice cat. She's been living outside around my house with a lot of the other semi-stray cats. And she figured out Dot's secret entry. And she's also litter trained. She's also really calm and doesn't tear things up or mess things up or anything. So I've named her Julia Michelle Heineman. And when she first came in, she was like super skin and bones, like, because she's a lot smaller than the other cats that live outside, so I don't think they've been letting her eat properly. I'm not gonna adopt them all. 2 is my limit. And well, the most important thing is Julia also gets along with Dot really well, and they like sleep together. And Dot's been a lot less rambunctious and hyper since Julia started living in the house. The cat distribution system cashes in all their cats on you. No, I literally can't monetarily afford that. Glad Dot has a playmate. Yeah. And again, they're both litter trained, so that's definitely, like, the key thing there. What is money to a cat? The cat does not understand the concept of employment. Wait, I remember what I pulled my phone out for. I was going to check and see something else on Sarah B. I need to check on a Jigglypuff. Let's see here. So the only thing it looks like I'd want to level up a Jigglypuff for is I'd want to get Body Slam at level 34. It's much like Nidoking, Jigglypuff very much seems like a TM Pokemon. But honestly, you can tutor Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt in Crystal specifically, so... This... And what is a cat to a non-believer? So that's the thing, cats adopt humans, not the other way around. That's how it's been for every cat I've had. Okay, if we can, I'd really like to get Wachima up to level 55 today. Okay, I'm gonna move my mic into a weird spot, because I'm gonna lean back so Dot can get comfy. Because she's like sitting on my leg, kind of half wiggling. You know I love this cat because I'll actually sit normally in a chair for her. Trapping yourself under a comfy cat. See, actually, though, like, it is kind of handy that since, you know, Pokemon's a pretty, as far as reaction times go, a low-intensity turn-based game. So I can just, like, set the controller down on my leg and hold the microphone with the other hand. Because something I was thinking about, honestly, is, like, as much as I do love, like, the gameplay systems of Legends ZA and Legends Arceus and all that stuff, I think one of the biggest things that they don't think about with everybody wanting, oh, you know, I wish Pokemon was an action RPG. Why can't Pokemon play more like this game or more like that game? I think one of Pokemon's biggest key essential strengths is accessibility, not just for, you know, younger gamers who may not have the speed and reaction times, but also for people who may be missing a hand, or maybe people whose motor skills in their hands just don't work correctly. I'd like to inform everyone that I now have 69k points. Nice. 69,000 cheese cubes. That sounds delicious. That's almost enough for one dinner. I'm glad all that staking paid off for you. Okay, on to the spooky silver cave. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be the spot. Even though it's gonna be all Polyworlds somehow. Oh hey, an actual Golbat. No, wait, shit, I need to give her a freaking Bitterberry because it's gonna be turn 1 Confuse Ray every damn time. God fucking damn it. Oh, damn, the one-shot. Hell yeah. You go, girl. My super moody indie comic book superhero. The main reason everyone hates the Zubat line... Well, that's the thing, is, like, I feel like a lot of the animosity of both Zubat and Tentacool comes from the fact that not only are they so frequent, but they almost always lead with Supersonic, or, in Golbat's case, also Confuse Ray. I could never hate Zubat, though. Crobat's my baby. I mean, her name is whatchamacallit. She's perpetually confused. You know, that's fair. So I don't know if you were here, Rain, but I was pointing it out before, how, like, Pupitar's back sprite looks like a moody, like the mask or whatever of, like, a moody comic book superhero from the late 90s. Which, I mean, technically, I guess Pupitar is a character design from the late 90s, since Gold and Silver came out in Japan in 1999. Holy shit. The Taste of Pupa Man. A woman named Pupa Man. Probably be a comic I'd read, yeah. I am going through my bitterberry stock. Holy shit. Good thing I've spent like 7 months stocking up berries, huh? Hi, Gusty. How are you doing on this lovely... Well, I guess it'd be really late Monday night for you. But yeah, we got playing on Monday because I had to go grab a moonstone, which you can get every Monday over at Mount Moon. The Clefairies will do their little dance around a rock. They will party rock in their house tonight. And now we're going to work on getting Wachima up to level 55 so she can become a Tyranitar. So, do you think Tangela wears shoes, or it just has little red feet? Because I'm pretty sure Kirby actually just has little red feet. I know people like to draw Kirby with realistic human feet as a joke, but, like, I'm pretty sure Kirby just has really, like, has little red feet. Which does have the implication that Kirby's just, like, 100% stark naked at all times, but... Mood, honestly? I'm currently playing Equinox Homecoming, though I don't know why, because shit will be reset for full release on the 5th of March. Okay, I feel like that's probably not related to the 80s NES game Equinox, because I'm not super familiar with it. If it is related to the NES game Equinox, hell yeah. Granted, that game's really fucking hard, but it's neat. And it's also on... Yeah, I think it's on the Switch's NSO. I mean, wearing only shoes would still be considered naked. Fair. Granted, like, my mom was one of those, like, one of her running jokes is, like, naked is entirely dependent on whether people can see your junk. She's like, if your nipples or your dick are hanging out and you're otherwise completely covered in, like, 6 layers of clothing, you're still naked. Tangela stole the red shoes from some random kid, and now every Tangela has them. Don't ask how. It's a horse MMO with murder mystery and supernatural elements. Ah. Murder horses. Right now I'm still in early access. Bought it. I will get a bonus the full game because of it, so hell yeah. Say more exposed in that case. Well, my mom is mostly making it to be, like, kind of funny, but yeah. Though it is really fucking funny that, like, one singular organ can make you completely exposed no matter how clothed you are. Not murder horses, carnivorous deer. Oh, funny isn't allowed here. That's not true because you're in my chat and you're always the funniest person in everyone's stream somehow. That's not even sarcasm. I don't know how you do it. Must have been all these years training your Wii to fit you. Is it bad to have... It is bad to have even one organ hanging out. I mean... Okay, give me a sec here.
Hello, it's me, Alan. Mott's, are you raising your Pokemon properly? I read in a book that you should raise any Pokemon you catch with love and care. By the way, a wild Hoothoot escaped on me yesterday. A computational error on my part. See you later.
Proved your point there, I guess. Yeah, Maddie, once again proving the point that they're the funniest person. Yeah, 100%.
Come on and slam.
I don't know why, but the animation for Flamethrower in Gen 2 just tickles my brain. It is a heavy torch to hold. I think the layering of the sprites gives it that just enough of a 3D effect. Fucking love sprite layers. I also really like Sprite. It's a shame we only get Cranberry Sprite for like 2 months a year. I don't know why, but Tangela shoes always made me think they got them as a toy from McDonald's Happy Meal. Like, imagine taking your Tangela out for a Happy Meal. That'd be wonderful. Imagine having feet. Imagine the feet having the texture of mushrooms. Oh, yes. Splurping up and down with my mushroom feet. Like squishy styrofoam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that there's a good reason for places not to have them, but I really miss when McDonald's 32-ounce cups were styrofoam. They kept my drink so good. Now, like, they have the plastic cups, which is fine, I guess. But my drink always gets all, like, melty. And I need my Diet Coke to last me for at least 3 hours, but I'm also constantly drinking it all the time, nonstop. Low-key, I really wish restaurants would have Sprite Zero. I understand there's not much demand for it, but it'd be nice. It would also be nice to have a sugar-free and caffeine-free option. Listen, I just want a therapy Flareon to help with my anxiety attacks. Is that so much to ask for? I know you meant that because it's warm and soft and very huggable. Walder. But, I interpreted that as, Flareon being like, okay, what's causing you anxiety? And then just goes and burns their house down. Wompter. Shit, what did I do? I accidentally hit a fast forward button. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know it had that. Make your PC drink the... No. I haven't even drank my water yet. I started panicking. I accidentally hit a button on the keyboard. I have my keyboard propped up against my couch sideways. Don't ask. Okay. Got my, water tumbler right here. Everybody grab your favorite sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice and take a nice big sippy. Some good Mizu. Okay, I guess I'll move my keyboard to a different spot real quick. Okay, for context, my keyboard is wireless. It's one of those ones that has one dongle, and it's for both the mouse and the keyboard. I, too, am a mouse with a dongle. So a lot of times, if I put the keyboard on the fold-out desk, it will somehow end up with a cat on it. And my chair and my desk area, like my couch is right beside it, so I just take my keyboard and set it beside me on the couch. Naturally. Ah yes, somehow. That's where they go. It is so fucking funny because Freya, the cat that was bonded with my mom, she loved to sit on books. And my mom would, like, open up a book, and Freya would immediately just teleport in out of nowhere and be sitting on Mom's book. Whether it was, you know, like a scrapbook thing Mom was working on, whether it was one of her journals, whether she was trying to read a book, whether it was, like, a magazine or a catalog. If there was something with pages and it was open, Freya's ass was magnetized toward it. To the point where, like, my mom was like, hey, watch this. And Mom pulled out one of her there's one of those ones in, like, a binder that has, like, the 3 rings and stuff. Mom opens it up, sets it on the folding table, and sits back, and from across the hallway I hear... And Freya runs in, jumps onto the book, and sits there. Go wherever's the most inconvenient. Well, they go wherever you're putting your attention because they should be the center of your attention. It's the natural order. So it's like, stop staring at the weird rectangle, stop staring at the dead tree pulp. Stare at me. Whatever you're doing is much less important than snuggling. And you know what? I kind of understand that philosophy. I wanted that knowledge. Absorbing the knowledge of books through my butt. Ass books. When I was a lot younger, one of my cats growing up would just come to my lap anytime I was trying to do homework. So they could tell, like, well, whatever this weird rectangle is, and that you're, like, wiggling a stick across, it's definitely stressing you out, so pet me instead. Instead of stressing out over the flat rectangle, let's snuggle. I don't know what humans' weird obsession with rectangles is. You get your flat, crinkly rectangles, your big, glowy rectangles. But why do you need any of that? Just eat yummy food and cuddle. Which, like, you know, not a bad life philosophy. Eat yummy food and cuddle. Why would you be stressed out? You have so much food to eat and so many places you can sleep. Witness the fluffy ball itself. In Steve. Dyslexia. I can't fucking read. I adopt the same philosophy with my significant others. No, I like in stuff. In Steve yourself. Gladly. One of my all-time favorite typos is when I somehow was trying to type significant others and it came out as significant otters. Which is honestly really redundant because there's not an otter in this world that's not significant. Wish I had a significant other since I just realized how queer I was. It's weird because, like, as someone who's pansexual, you would think that exponentially increasing my dating pool would help, but, Otters are extremely significant. I love how Polyworld just looks like she's like, there's this one cereal and it is her favorite cereal, but it's the last one left and it's on the very back of the shelf and she's just quite not tall enough to reach it, but she doesn't want to ask anybody, so she's just like, Having a partner is overrated, I say, holding back tears. Who needs to hold someone when I could hold back the urge to curl into a ball and cry? No, actually the big, like, obstacle to me getting a significant other is just, like, money. Mostly. Not that I'm saying, like, anyone I'm with is going to be some kind of gold digger or something. It more comes down to, like, you need money to just do things. And go places. Tingawak. You see, now that I've actually, have the Bitterberry equipped, they're just never going to use Confuse Ray ever again. Oh, I'm wrong. You do? Yeah, I do. I don't know why my idea of dating tends to involve a lot of things that can be done without money. I mean, like, I like that kind of stuff too. But I mean, like, okay, I feel like starting a relationship is the most expensive part of a relationship, if that makes any sense at all. Then again, I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot of relationships. It's mostly just been me getting used. Yay, we learned Crunch. We can officially be a AAA game dev director. Pats you very gently. Thank you. I haven't been in one since I was 14, so I can imagine how it's a very different world now. Like I said, it's weird because, like, so many different people have like, depending on the person, drastically different expectations for what a relationship is supposed to be like. And since nobody fucking communicates with each other, nobody has any idea what the other person's idea of what a relationship is supposed to be like is. Because honestly, whenever I do have a relationship, significant other, I want it to be somebody who've already had a meaningful friendship with for a good little while. I mean, if they love me, they should gain telepathic powers. They should adapt to the ever-moving goalpost with no hints of where they should be going. Communicating is very hard, especially when you've not had a lot of practice communicating growing up. That is my one secret advantage I do have, is my mom was always very clear and open with communication. I love posts! That's why I have a whole box of post-it notes, so I can just post stuff anywhere. You know, Twitter changing tweets to post was one of the, like, most horrible branding disasters I've ever seen. It's funny because, like, people on, like, Blue Sky, myself included, and, like, you know, people on Instagram and stuff will still call whatever they put online tweets. Because, like, tweeting has just become a part of, like, the general lexicon. It's become its own verb. You know, stuff like ending a sentence with "that's the tweet" or something like that, and it's like, and retweeting is another thing, and it's just like, I have several barriers that I can imagine will make communicating difficult, so that is a worry I have. Like I said, I think especially what I know of you, I think if you're far enough in a relationship to really trust someone, I feel like you would also know that that person would have the patience to help you, like, kind of meet you halfway with communication. And they would also kind of understand how you communicate. Again, that's why I said, like, to me, building up a friendship is important. Someone having patience for me that isn't you or another super close friend is something I cannot imagine. That's because you live with people that have no patience for you, even though they should, and that you have no patience for. Well, probably more patience for than you probably should. Again, like, I have the advantage in a lot of ways, and this isn't really a brag or anything. It's just that I grew up in a house where love, patience, communication, and understanding were the norm, and it took me a long time to realize that is not what most other people seem to have grown up with. At least not most other people on the internet, because, like, I feel a lot of people in nerd spaces especially are so deep into nerd spaces because they've had to grow up with neurodivergency of some kind in a household that was not at all equipped to handle that, so they escape into the internet. A lot of this is basically just spending a significant amount of time around other people enough to build a relationship. That's true. Doubt it. Damn. Also, hey, anybody want to send me $15? I'm just kidding. But 9 Souls went on sale on PlayStation Network, but I don't have any money to buy any games right now. I do actually take my friends' video game recommendations seriously, because I do like to try new things. 9 Souls! 9 Souls, 9 doors, 9 person, 9 hours. I'm kidding, don't act. Nobody, okay, like, you can support me on Coffee if you want, but don't send me money to buy a game right now because I won't use it to buy a game. I'll buy more groceries with it because I'm just, like, crazy like that. It's too much, too big number. Too furious. Wow, so selfish. I know, I keep buying food, and I buy food for these cats, the furry things that live in my house. Hello, furry thing that lives in my house. Are you warm and comfy? Imagine being a furry thing. There's a fluffy kitty making biscuits on my titties. This is really pretty. I'm gonna pet this cat. I went to check my bank account to see how much I noticed I got my tax return. Bitch, and I haven't even gotten my fucking W-2 yet. Sag.
Good evening, Mots. It's me, Wade. Are you awake? I found all kinds of berries. If you want, I'll share some with you. I'll be waiting on Route 31. Click.
Dang, Rain is truly big money ballin'. You are truly ba-da-da-da-da. Ding, 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 ding. Think I have money. Ha! I know, all the money has to go to, medical debt. Medical debt. How does it feel being the richest person in the universe? I'm rich, bitch, but they call me Cheap the Ripper. Yay, medical debt! Honestly, skill issue, you shouldn't have had health issues. Why did you do that? Not one of your best plays, TBH.
Good to see you. This is what I found. It's for you.
Bitterberry, hell yeah, we've been using those. Hey, we take those. Thank you, Wade. Wade is a true homie. Damn, should have thought about that. I'm such an idiot. Foresight is not my forte. That's why you can't hit ghost types. Or I guess Foresight's not your base in the English version. We do not have to fight, Bass. We are not enemies. Simply choose to be healthy and uninjured. Yeah, obviously. I don't know why. Have you considered not being poor? Like I said, I still cannot help but think of this one tweet from, like, somebody was, like, born, you know, like, their parents had CEO money or whatever, and he tweets out, like, you know, I don't know why we should have empathy for poor people. If you spent if you spent your entire trust fund already, that's on you. Or like, if you're irresponsible enough to spend through your whole trust fund. And it like had like maybe a 4-digit number of likes and like a 6-digit or a 5-digit number of comments. And he had like follow-ups like, oh, sorry, I guess I didn't know sorry, I guess not everyone's born with a trust fund. I didn't know. Though, like, actually, we should change it so he's right. Everyone, as soon as you're born, you should just have, like, 5 or 6 digits of money to your name, just automatically. I'm currently saving what I can, but actually putting money into savings accounts so I can potentially escape to Canada. At least get free healthcare. Yeah. Oh, to live in a world so small you can see the other side of the planet if you look down. Thing is, like, at the moment, I just have too much stuff that's precious to me to risk moving. And I don't think I could ever really... Okay, at the moment, I don't really have the monetary means to do much of anything like that. Though you can change that if you want to support me on my coffee, wink wink. No, I kid. Like, as much as I do appreciate any little bit of support I get from anybody, I understand, like, all of us are going through it right now. But regardless of what happens, I'll always keep on going. Don't either, that's why I'm saving. Understandable. Saving money until another indie roguelike comes out. Should look into donating plasma to get potentially some extra dosh. Plasma! Nobody's gonna get that reference. It's a reference I'm wary to make because Earthworm Jim is one of my few treasured things from my childhood that was actually made by a terrible shitbag. Like, I'm lucky I never got into stuff like Fairly Odd Parents or something that was largely, like, famously helmed by somebody who's kind of an a-hole. Like, I feel really bad for authentically good people who are, like, Ren and Stimpy fans or something. And, yeah, the actual, like, authentically good people who were, like, Harry Potter fans. I got 10 days till I throw money at Slay the Spire 2. But no, like, you can call it cheesy if you want, but one of the most inspiring quotes comes from Shadow the Hedgehog. If the whole world becomes my enemy, I will fight like I always have. Level 48, we're getting closer. The world becomes salami. I will eat it like I always have. I was really into Danny Phantom as a kid and really sad made by a piece of shit. Well, from what I understand, Bitch Fartman was much less involved in Danny Phantom or Fairly Odd Parents than he gave himself credit for. the more that I hear about it, the more I start to realize it was like a Tommy Tallarico, Bruce Falconer kind of situation. Where the team did most of it, and one singular person put their name on it as the creative force behind it. So, I mean, say what you will about Hideo Kojima, I don't always agree with his creative ideas and his creative choices or where he takes his ideas, but whenever, like, gaming magazines and interviews and stuff would try to be like, oh, you know, so you're so great, you created this, you created that, and Kojima would always be like, well, it's really my team that da-da-da-da-da. Well, you know, it's really this person and this person and this person that are carrying this. I would just, you know, mostly focused on the script or mostly focused on this part of the design. You know, so, like, I have a lot of respect for Kojima for at least trying to deflect it off of it just being all about him. Even though, yeah, like, he calls his, like, game studio, you know, Kojima Games, but still. Yeah, like, the more and more I've seen about it, the more I realized that Hartman was not really that central of a creative force. Just a coinky dink that's called it. I mean, there are a lot of people with the last name Kojima. That's like, in America, that'd be like calling your thing, like, you know, freaking Walters Productions or something like that, or Wallace Productions. There's even another Kojima that worked with Konami. Ayami Kojima is the illustrator who did a lot of the amazing box art and stuff for the Castlevania series, including Symphony of the Night, Curse of Darkness, and the GBA trilogy. Dot is all comfy and eepy on my lap, and it is so hard not to pet her. It's bother your animals time. You know, part of me kind of wants to invest in a lapel mic. The problem is, and the reason why I haven't just gotten another headset and, like, have the mic I pick up and move around is, like, I feel like my audio quality sounds so much better with a regular mic. Than it did with the... Granted, the headset I had was, like, really cheap. To the point where I got, like, the headset that I had was part of a 3-pack that had a headset, a mouse pad, and a, very light, very cheap wired gaming mouse for $20, like, for the whole set. And I don't want to spend a lot of money on a headset because I'm a cheap little bitch. Reminds me, I need to look into audio filters. You know, something that helps the random buzzing I've been having recently. Oh, that's just a little bee that lives in your nose. I would assume I can't stop smelling honey. I knew that flinch was coming, god damn it. I don't know what it is, but, like, you ever, like, you're playing a Pokemon game and you can feel when the RNG is about to slap you? feel it in your bones. Feel like you're about to, you know that you're boned. Because, like, I watched, I don't know if you ever subscribed on YouTube to Electric Wind Girlfriend, but she does, like, a lot of very short PowerPoint videos on competitive Pokemon stuff. And her most recent one was talking about how not only is Play Rough the only widely available physical fairy-type move, but its 90 accuracy means it misses constantly. Thank you, Rain, for once again cutting a worthless object. Every time I use Play Rough, it misses without fail. Whenever I click it, I brace myself. No, like, as a Mawile enjoyer, I basically am like, I just click it and look away from the screen. Also, that it did make me randomly think about the fact that, every first time. Important word, Mist Alert. Everyone scream, ah! Okay, I would like for you to imagine this as one of the, Super Smash Brothers, like, character cut-in things. Fuck! Dyslexic mouse misses a word. Do we get ice cream if we scream? Yeah. Scream away. Oh. God fucking damn it. Ooh, I'm angry. Of course, Rock Slide would miss while we're talking about attacks missing. The stuttering at the beginning was perfect. Listen, I am tired. I have to work a job today, and it's cold, and I've got to hug my cat who is sniffly. And my mic fell down when I was trying to do the thing. I'm just a tiny little gay mouse trying to play video games on the internet. Everyone's so mean to me. I mean, it's not really everyone, it's just capitalism. That's what's mean to me. You see, it's so fucking funny because you say that you don't want to work, like, a standard capitalism jobs. People are like, oh, you're just lazy. And I'm like, bitch, like, for the stretch of time when I was, like, working freelance independently from home, I was doing exponentially more work than I do at my job. So you draw mods and everyone's so mean to me meme. I know. I got what you were going for. I mean, we've already established that I do kind of be having a fat ass, though, so it works. What she's wearing? I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. I realize now why my mic fell. Because since I am forced by this adorable, wonderful cat to actually sit down on the chair like a proper human. But I have my mic on one of the arms of the chair, and I'm kind of leaning sideways into it. I keep shaking my leg because the ADHD must move. And it keeps shaking my mic. Is capitalism as a concept finally dead? No, milady. Ugh, wake me up in another 100 years. I'm sorry, I just got lost staring at Dot. She is being super adorable. Am I gonna have to give Taki a freaking Purrs Cureberry? After that 100 years, the people running the office are the same ones running the 100 years prior. I mean, you joke, but I do always think about the main villain of Blue Dragon, who has like a bunch of machines attached to him to keep himself alive because he wants to keep living forever to see more people suffer. And it's so because like, you know, when you're little and you're playing games with and watching shows and stuff with villains like that, you're like, well, there's no way anyone in real life could just be that evil, you know, and there's no way that it's just a tiny group of people who are just all the evil ones and everyone else is good. You know, like, you know, that when you're a teen, you start being like, oh yeah, there's no way that's realistic. And then, like, when you get to an adult and you're like, no, that's pretty accurate. If the tech existed on that level, I'm sure they'd all be using it. Yeah. Yeah. Conversely, Blue Dragon is a freaking awesome game. Apparently, the first disc is partially decompiled for PC. I refuse to believe that anyone could get away with being that blatantly and cartoonishly evil. Audience laugh track in the background. Or if you prefer, womp 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 womp. Okay, so, you guys are familiar with the Disney movie Fantasia, right? That actually got a adaptation for the Sega Genesis, but it was a really rushed game, so it's pretty rough. And it famously had to be recalled because there was actually a contract in Fantasia's creation to say that it couldn't be adapted to other things. So, they actually had to basically cancel the video game after it was out. But it still sold pretty well while it was on the market for a couple months. So there's still a pretty good amount of copies out there. I even played it as a kid. A friend of mine rented it. The game is definitely not very good. It's very unfinished. But there's a specific sound effect in the game. I think it's when you lose a life. It might be when you get hit. I don't remember. But the sound effect is basically for the Sega Genesis's, like, fartiest possible instrument from its Yamaha sound chip, going ramp at the ramp. And it is like it is, in my head, superior to womp womp. Like, it is just such the perfect evolution of that. It's like, to me, that is that game's golden legacy, is that womp with the womp sound effect. Like, if nothing else, watch, like, maybe a long play of Fantasia or something for Genesis, just to see, or just to hear that sound effect. It is that good. Like, whenever I make up something like a soundboard or whatever, I hope I can find a way to get that, because it is such a good sound effect. How do you write satire when life itself is more satirical than anything you could come up with? That's the thing, like, I'm amazed that The Onion is still in business. Because, like, I think they even made a joke on their, like, Twitter or something, like, guys, we're running out of things that are actually satire. We can't make satire that's more ridiculous than real life. Fun fact, I've never actually seen the full Fantasia movie. Most of my interactions with it have either been, one specific boss fight from the original Kingdom Hearts or the Sega Genesis game. It is amazing how many things as a kid that my primary interaction with them was because there was a video game about it. Like, I remember seeing Lion King, but the only other Disney movie I really had much interest in was Aladdin. And I was interested in Aladdin because I had the Super Nintendo game and I really liked it. I can't wait for this season of Earth to be over so we can get to the next season of Peace and Rebuilding. Yeah, that arc's way better. I read the manga for Earth, actually. Yeah, that arc's way better. Did you know that the current arc, they added a bunch of filler? It's so bad. It's going on forever. Yeah, it's not surprising to me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would be surprising, actually. Like, it's surprising, but it's not surprising. Explain why this season sucks so fucking much. Yeah. You know, Tangrowth is one of those Pokemon that, like, I've been critical of the Gen 4 evolutions and stuff, but Tangrowth just feels like it always kind of should have been there. Tango's Banana Cry, yes. Banana. It's one of the shinies where I feel like being green definitely makes sense for it. You know, now that I pointed it out and I'm paying attention to it myself, man, my leg is just a-going. What are you doing there, leg? You know, one of the worst things about having ADHD is a lot of times I move around a lot in my sleep, so I wake up physically exhausted. And it's like, slept too hard, need to take a nap. That and all her energy can never hold back someone with ADHD forever. Slept too hard, need to take a nap. Nap too hard, need to take a nap. Unlimited nap works. Yo, Bitterberry Squad. God fucking damn it, 2 in a row. 2 in a row! And the flinch, oh my god. You know, it's probably good that I'm catching this on stream because it sounds like I'm making it up. Okay, thank you. Slept perfect, need to take a nap. Undid all the good that sleep did me, need a nap. Repeat until shriveled. Skullbat is determined to hack us to death. You know, I love that certain memes and slang are randomly like saved, kind of like screenshotted into times when a certain Pokemon had something about it localized. Like Haxorus is a good example. Because like I don't even know if anybody remembers Leet Speak or Haxors or anything, but I mean, thankfully Haxorus is such a clean name for what it does anyway that you wouldn't think about what it's referencing. So if you don't know the reference, nothing is lost on you. Or, with, Ice Cube, it's 2 different modes being called Ice Face and No Ice Face, but No Ice is like a single word, so it's like, noise. Because I remember some people being like really pissy when it was officially called Noise Face for Ice Cube. Granted, people were pissy about Sword and Shield anyway. Not anymore though. Now that it's like pushing to 7 years old, people are talking about how Sword and Shield was actually the best game of the Switch games. I will say, though, I really do like Sword and Shield's UI for the menus and stuff. I think it's really clean. Mods? It's me, Dana. My Psyduck is getting prettier. I've been taking photos galore. You know what? A wild Noctowl got away from me again. It was so close. Really, just a little bit more and I would've... See ya! Oh, Dana, you ADHD queen. Reminds me, Pokemon Day is this Friday. It is. There's also going to be the new TCG Pocket set dropping Thursday. You see, I think they're going to surprise everybody, and they're going to not announce Gen 10, they're going to announce Generation 11. Once Gen 10's been out for a few months, we'll all praise for Gen 9 will stack up like clockwork. Yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, I'm off tomorrow and Thursday from a job. But I also want it to hurry up and be Friday so I can see all the Pokemon Day stuff, but I also don't want it to be Friday. Slexia obliterated that. We'll hear all the praise. I'm sorry! We'll hear all the praise for Gen 9, like clockwork. See, I got it! I got it! Job tomorrow and Wednesday and have the rest of the week off. Yo, let's freaking go. You can wake up at 6 a.m. and watch Pokemon Day and then go back to bed. You can have dreams of Poliwhirl and Slowking and other Pokemon. Mostly those two, though. I mean, it'll be 9 a.m. for me. Wait, was it 6 a.m. like California time that it's gonna be? Ooh, then it's Pokemon 2, finally. Oh, shit. Damn it, it's gonna start right when I have to go to work. I guess I'm being late for work. Either that or I'm gonna have to spend my entire workday with, like, every social media off. Or else all my friends are gonna spoil, like, Stink Blanco or whatever being revealed for Generation 14. I know, they should have had Pokemon Day on Thursday. Why didn't they go back in time 30 years and change the date that they released Red and Green to be more convenient for me right now? Yo, that's the one I saw in the leak. Damn it! Hey, look! The attacks are all arranged to where, like, they get more letters as you go down. Damn, I'm talented. You get the Nobel Prize for sure. I live in some of the later games where the animation for Return has, like, a bunch of hearts come up when they do a little strike. I kind of understand why Return and Frustration were removed from later games, but I miss Return. I mean, Frustration can kind of go fuck itself. It's not a very good move. Because, like, it is legitimately difficult to have your Pokemon have minimum friendship. Not only because anything that's not a legendary or Baniri will start with at least some friendship. I have no bells. Auditory censorship. God fucking damn it, me. Auditory censorship issues and all that. Look, that does say censorship. I read it like 4 times and I was sure I was reading it wrong. My brain has not been braining, it's meant to be sensory. If 2 brains not brain each other simultaneously, will that, like, have them turn into, like 2 negatives if you multiply them and become a positive? Sign that I should go to bed. Brain divides by 0. I mean, I am a pretty big fan of Mega Man X, so... How? Argle, blargle, blargle, blargle. I like with the rain dance when Spearow becomes primarily pink with, like, the black hair. She's in her pastel goth era. You know, it's weird kind of getting a little bit of like nostalgic memories for the amount of time I spent playing Pokemon Gold and grinding up so many, like, I think I had like 15 or 20 different Pokemon at level 100. Take off for the night. Have a lovely evening, cuties. You have a lovely, wonderful sleep, Rain. I hope you can have a nice, comfy, relaxing rest. I hope you have one of those sleeps where you, like, wake up super stiff because you've been in one position all night and your body got really rested. Wait, I went ahead and healed already, didn't I? God fucking damn it. I am getting the hacks tonight. Oh my god. If only I had like 50 or 60 paralyzed Cure Berries. Max Toast looking cool with her black hair and black lipstick. Okay, so I got most of my berries. I did the battle with Cal and Bueno's radio thing. I feel like there's a daily thing I'm forgetting. I grabbed Kurt's balls already. I was kind of hoping like Gavin or somebody would call me for another rematch. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of like not really feeling Mount Silver right now. Go on over to Monogamy Town. What's this house? I heard that a red Gyarados appeared at the lake. That's odd, since even ordinary Gyarados are rare in that lake. Red Gyarados, that's crazy. Radio program? I'd say Pokemon music. Oh yeah? Well, let's see what's on your radio right now. Oak's Pokemon Talk. Professor Oak's Pokemon Talk. With me, Mary. Caterpie may be seen around Route 30. Caterpies, provocatively stimulating. I beg your pardon? Meowth may be seen around Route 38. Meowths, so very topically speedy. Donphan may be seen around Route 45. Donphans, so very topically powerful. These randomly generated phrases are so funny. Ferret may be seen around Route 43. Ferrets, oh so sensually powerful. I beg your pardon. Magnemite may be seen around Route 39. Magnemites, sure addictingly inspiring. Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon channel. Pidgey may be seen around Route 38, Route 37. I can't fucking read. Pidgey's aptly named and lovely. Zubat may be seen around Route 32. Zubats, most poisonously suave and debonair. Growlithe may be seen around Route 36. Growlithes, so very topically speedy. I mean, I guess if you don't have a guide or Cerebi or anything, it is a handy way to figure out where to find a certain Pokemon, but it's so completely random, I don't know how helpful it would actually ever be. I just think it's really funny. It is an alright shape for that, I guess. I think it's time for Mary to go into assisted living. That is so very topically speedy of you to say. Though not everybody can truly understand the sensual appeal of Ferret. Okay, Mellow C, take a break for a sec. I surely can't, but I believe in you. You'll figure it out. Wait, I'm gonna experiment with something. Okay. So, if you turn on the radio... As long as you stay in the area, the radio song will replace the song in that area. Not everyone can be suave and debonair like you. Oh. Suave and deboner. No. We surf, it plays the surf music. Okay, so it goes back to the regular music, not the radio music when you're done surfing. Okay, well, let's see when I surf, and then listen to the radio. Debonair, ain't that the shit that Dratini evolve into? Yeah. Lapras looking directly at you. Front-facing Lapras jump scare. Okay, so like, basically the music track, the radio changes the current music track. But whenever the music track changes again, it'll just change to whatever it would normally be. I'd never really messed with that before because I always kind of forget to use the radio in Johto. It always gets me when there's extra stuff like the radio or something like that, like how much actual effort the team really does put into stuff like that. Because, you know, there's like the PokeNav and the news thing from like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Heck, in Ruby and Sapphire in general, if you mix records with people, it'll actually show stuff they've been doing on your like when you check the TV. Or what they said in an interview with Gabby and Ty. Wanna mix records? Yeah, let me pull out my link cable. Betty! Meow. A little meow on my laying across my lap. Crunch. I forgot how fucking brutal the animation for Crunch is in Gen 2. It's so shiny. Mintaberry. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna check something. Dex check. Okay. So, Nidoking and Raichu. Gotta evolve. Wigglytuff, we gotta evolve. I guess, did I ever catch another Oddish? Because I know I evolved the one I had into Bellossom. Imagine popping in a blueberry-sized fruit and you bite into it and minty juice pops through your mouth. Sounds so nice. Yeah. We need to stop making fruit be silly shapes and work on that. I mean, there are grapes that taste like cotton candy, so... No. Oh. Stop. Oh. 36 mint berries. Okay. Oddish check. Have I caught another Oddish? Oh, there aren't. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend the grape fandom. I've had them, though. They range from tasting like water to tasting like water that cotton candy was dipped in. Yeah. Yeah, I think Exeggutor is another one I'll have to work on. Yeah, that's all I get. I mean, I don't really have much else to say about the cotton candy grapes aside from what you described. That's pretty much been my, that's been Maya. There's Hydrox. / J. Should I just have Hydrox fuck and train her baby? Okay, Jiffy P, what? You are boy. I do not currently own another Oddish. Boy, I sure do be having Iggly buffs. Therapy check. I'm sorry, Dot. I had to move to get my phone. No, Steam. Do not send me notifications about things on sale. I do not have the money. Okay, Ordish. Fun facts. The Oddish line is my favorite grass type evolution line. I think I mentioned that offhandedly before. When I was littler, when Pokemon Red and Blue were like the only games and stuff, there wasn't a lot of oddish merchandise. So my mom actually handmade me a little plush oddish. Unfortunately, I lost it when we moved. It makes me sad because it was really cool. Okay. So what I would want to do... Oddish can learn Razor Leaf as an egg move. Sending a video to someone for their birthday, and it was saying their thanks. And the other just said, yeah. And then one turns to the other and just says, yeah, that's all. Probably find it easier than describing it. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm sorry, I'd probably, like, be better rolling with the jokes if I, were slightly more awake. It's like I think I mentioned it before, but, like, the last couple nights I have just not slept very well. But I was absolutely determined to stream today, especially since I did not stream on Sunday. Besides, I had to get Moonstone. Because I actually ardently refused to play this at all off stream. So I know a lot of times people will play Pokemon games like for streams or Let's Plays. They'll be like, oh, I'll just do some off-screen grinding. And, you know, I'm like, no, grind with me. Okay. Dorito, my dude, my bro. You about to clap some cheeks. Whenever I'm sleep deprived, I get wound up. Like, well, I can't relate. I understand the inverse. Yeah. When I'm sleep deprived, like the first thing that goes is my ability to concentrate. See that every time it hits midnight when we talk. Oops. Sorry. Honestly, that is one of those things that makes me feel a little bit kind of old, is like, the closer it gets to midnight, the less awake I get. I mean, I don't know if that's really an old thing more than it's a, my body's just so used to waking up at 7 for work at this point. My first thing is the ability to pay attention to what I'm saying. Great combo. Yes, Dorito. My man, my bro. Hydrox. The baby girl. Have fun, you guys. I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. time gets later, people tend to get more tired. It's true. Blasphemy. I mean, like, if my body's not gonna let me sleep properly, then I also shouldn't have to worry about getting tired. Wonder how different the Hydrox brand would be. They didn't name the cookie Hydrox. Yeah, I think about that too, because it sounds like a fucking cleaning chemical. Because that's the thing is, like, originally Oreos were like the cheap knockoff of Hydrox. But Oreo sounds like a yummy cookie. Hydrox sounds like I'm gonna clean my fucking sink. I get what they were going for, but Hydrox is not a good name for food. Absolutely. It's a wonderful name for an oddish, though. I feel like I kind of missed out by naming my oddish Hydrox, but naming, like, the Umbreon Oreo. I think Oreo is a good name for an Umbreon, but, like... I probably should have planned to have some kind of, like, theme naming or something. No one would be naming their black and white pet Hydrox. Well, that and especially Oreo beginning and ending with O, I feel like just really gives you the, like, it feels like a round cookie, if that makes any sense. I do want to try them, though. Don't know where I'd find them. I see them every now and then. A lot of times in places like, shit, I don't even know if this is outside the general area where I live, but, I've seen them at a place called, shit, I can't remember the name of it. We have a vintage candy store near me, but I haven't seen anything other than candy and ice cream. Ollie's, that's the place I was trying to think of. My brain kept wanting to say Aldi's. You know, Ollie's, it's like, got like a cartoony old guy as a mascot. And they usually have like bulk purchase stuff. I don't know if Ollie's is like a fully national chain or if it's just around where I live. They tend to have like more niche brands and stuff, and they have some pretty good prices too. They also have a lot of really good deals on like out of season food, not like out of date, but like I'm not gonna guarantee that Ollie's will have Hydroxes, but they tend to have more of the stuff that you don't find at like Walmart and Food Lion and stuff like that. I mean, it's great to shop anyway, because like I was saying, they'll have stuff that's like quotation marks out of season. Like, for example, in like February and March, I bought a bunch of super discounted, not February, March this year, this has been years ago. But in February and March, like a couple years ago, I got a bunch of Ziploc bags that were marked down because they had like Christmas, like snowflakes and nutcrackers and snowmen on them. But I mean, like, they're still functional Ziploc bags, so... Or they'll have, like, the Christmas-themed cereals in, like, March and April. Or they'll have, like, Easter stuff in the middle of summer. Basically because, like, you know, all the big chain stores, they get rid of all the season-y stuff that doesn't sell out when they put it on clearance. But that's still usable food or usable products. So, there's no reason not to just go buy it. Because I'm a cheapskate.
Hello, this is Todd. Mott's, sorry to call you so late. You must be a lot better now, huh? How about showing me your technique in a real battle with me? I'll be waiting on Route 34. See you later.
We've been there one singular time a few years ago. Got toys and coloring books for young family members. Yeah, it's a good place to find a lot of that, too. Go to Goldenrod. We're battling Todd. We're battling with Todd's Goldenrod.
Cut back my shopping to raise my Pokemon better.
Grab a lure. Rock fight! Rock fight! To be a rock fight. The greatest rock fight. We bought them for my grandparents because they were about to get together. About to be a big get together there for some people who live out of state. Okay. Oh, his Psyduck is one level away from evolving. Uh-oh. Bro, you had an opportunity to water gun the freaking... Oh well, get crunched. Dropping off those things was also the last time I saw my grandpa. I'm not sad. I don't want this to bring the mood down. I understand. Yeah, Ollie's is a good place to shop for stuff. It's also a cool place to try new things, because if there's like a new cereal or something cool, it's usually pretty cheap. Oh, big yawn right in my face. Hi, Dot.
Did I screw up in my training?
Ugh. Okay, Dot. I'm wearing 2 layers. You can make biscuits on my chest now if you want to. Do not try to biscuit directly on my face. I can convince my mom maybe we can stop there sometime and look around. I mean, I would feel like she would enjoy the concept of you trying to save her money. Because a lot of the stuff is stuff you'd buy anyway, just cheaper. Now I'm thinking of those Selena Gomez Oreos again. I will still have... You think they're still good? Yeah? I munch on them every now and then. I'm saving at least 1 pack for you if you want me to send them to you. Kitten. Those are mine. You know, Dot keeps reaching her hand at my face. I wonder if she's trying to pet me. Because she's one of those cats that really likes having her head scratched. She'll, like, headbutt my hand. Dot, if you wanna... Okay, Dot. If you wanna be all pawy and cute, that's fine. Do not use the murder knives. Okay, we put the murder knives away when it's fun time. Ow. I don't know about how much postage will be for that, but I'll pay you back eventually. Whenever you want to, just send them over. Just tell me and I'll give you the address. Okay. It might be... I'll probably have to set up a day where I can go out and go to the post office and stuff. Dot is awake and she is now being a cuddle baby snuggle maxer. I also have some Christmas Oreos. Do you want me to throw one of those in there for you too? Also not sure what all you need, but you can figure it out. Probably just a box to send them in and the postage. The Christmas Oreos just taste like regular Oreo, though. They just have red and green and little reindeer designs. Level 51, we're close, we're real close. Figured they'd be like the Halloween ones. Dot, you are not even napping or snuggling anymore. You are just... Yeah, so it turns out Dot hit the microphone with her foot while she was licking her ass. Because the mic I have has touch to mute on it. Okay, sorry, what I was saying is, what are you talking about? Like someone in your family would mess with a postage box if it came for you? That seems kind of like lame-o because like that's your private stuff. There's a non-zero chance. Can't let them know that you're freebasing secret cookies. When Kyle mailed Iggy to me, my brother was in the middle of opening the box. That is fucked up. Especially, was it like addressed to you? Which I would assume it was. Had a Matty on the side. I mean, process of the elimination. I feel like, guess who that is. More concerned that no one's seeing Matty than the opening of the box at the time. I understand. But like, all things considered, regardless of anything else, you know, gender related, I feel like Matty is a pretty reasonable nickname to have on the internet, considering, you know, your government name. Sorry, I shouldn't ever point out your real government name, which is Adriana Aloysius Irvine Newmeyer III, Esquire. Asked about Maddie, and I just mumbled that it was a nickname straight away. I'm sorry! It just comes out sometimes. That. You know, I've seen this sprite so much, but man, Golbat sure is like stanced up in Crystal. Fine for you to allude to the name, it's only one letter off, so it's not like that big of a secret. You sure you want everybody knowing that your name is Umti? I mean, I think adding the A definitely improves the flow, but... I can live with it. Hop. Dot got up. I'm assuming went and ate something, and now it's time to get back on my lap. Ooh, the dark burgundy whatchama, even more. Can you throw in the cats as a bonus with the Oreos? I'll give them back in like 4. No. Because see, even if I wanted to do that, the postal workers who have to ship it'll be like, oh my gosh, cute cats, and then they'll end up keeping the cats. You'll never get to see them. It'll be like trying to ship a PlayStation 5 in like 2000. Excuses, excuses. Dot's back on her biscuity ways. 52, let's go. Realizing we're gonna have to do all of this again with Zucchini. She's a committed baker. She's gotta do her cooking by the book. You know, it's a weird thing when I think back on like the late 90s and early 2000s playing these old Pokemon games and stuff. It weirdly feels like it was much more recent than like the 2010s or the late 2000s or something. I'm not sure how to describe it. You think gave you your cake? Oh, it's all coming together. Granted, it definitely doesn't help with my sense of time that, like, the last 6 years have been a nothing void. Which is weird I say that, because I'm, like, at least outwardly, like, personality completely unrecognizable from even, like, 2 years ago. Oops. I mean, I could see that because in a person's younger years, things are relatively easy and fun. When you're a little older, life gets harder and scarier. Kinda. Weirdly enough, like, being in school and stuff like that was a lot harder than just having a normal job and stuff. I don't know how to describe exactly why, but it's just like... It's weird how much nicer people are in general after you get out of school. Younger years are more vivid and fondly remember, older ones are very samey and repetitive. I mean, yeah, because I feel like between, like, graduating high school and meeting you guys in Miiverse, it was just kind of this, like, bleh, void. Because meeting you and Wit and everybody kind of, like, brought some light back into my life. Not that my life was, like, constantly miserable and the worst thing in the world or anything, but it's just like I had probably the worst job I will ever have. I didn't really have any like friends. I had people I got along with and stuff, but like nobody I could talk about games or anything like that with. Also, viewing it from somebody my age not be fully applicable to you. Though you're only in your late 20s. I know, I've been in my late 20s for a while now. Like the super late 20s. Roaring 20s, no, I'm in my whoring 20s. And you always will be. Ever since I turned off autocorrect, I've had to be a lot more active when I type using brain hard. Autocorrect is like a double-edged S word for me, because like... it helps with dyslexia stuff, especially with words like thief and stuff. Or like receipt, things like that. But then again, it also really just loves going over some words that I use all the time for no reason. I also type pretty fast and the buttons are small, so I have to fix so much. Receipt. Receipt always looks like it's spelled wrong to me. Fuck English, man. Who made this language? Go, Wachama, go. I wish there was another way to grind aside from waiting, you know, besides wild Pokemon. Aside from, like, waiting for phone calls and or, just grinding the Elite Four 100 times. It isn't an English word, but my life changed forever when I realized rendezvous was rendezvous. I thought there were two separate words. Oh, you thought, like, there was the word rendezvous, but then the one that you spelled was, like, rendezvous or something. Certain divide my life pre-rendezvous and post-rendezvous. I feel like a lot of people have that relationship with the word epitome. Realizing that the word epitome and the written word epitome are different, or not different words. Well, that and facade and facade are not different words. I'm still mad. I know I brought it up in a previous stream, but I'm still mad about this whole adaptation thing. Encountered the word when I first viewed Love Disc's Pokédex. It's the rendezvous Pokemon. But what does rendezvous mean? It's weird how many words I've learned from video games. I learned the word bromide from Chrono Trigger. I actually learned the difference between faint and faint because of Pokemon. Because, like, with an E or with an A. Because, I've mentioned, as I'm sure you know, from generations 1 to 4, Feint Attack is F-A-I-N-T. When it's supposed to be, like, a feint, like, you know, sneaking around behind somebody, F-E-I-N-T. And in the, Murkrow's first card in Pokemon, Neo Genesis, TCG, has Feint Attack, but it's spelled F-E-I-N-T. And I'm like, well, it's called Feint Attack, but why'd they spell it different? They spelled it wrong, and then I learned that, no, actually, the game kind of got it wrong. I learned what Debonair was during this stream. Like, actually? You didn't know Dratini had an evolved form? Oh, wait, you actually learned, like, what, did you go look the word up after they mentioned it on the Oaks Pokemon Talk? I'm not joking, like, that's cool. Vocabulary word, the word of the day is debonair. I don't even remember what sitcom it was, but I know there's this one, like, early 2000s sitcom where somebody was trying to, like, help their friend, like, get with some guy she was into or something. Means a woman named Deborah can fly. Well, it was a great stream, everybody. Thank you for coming by. But no, it became a vocal stem from this one sitcom where, like, she was reading out something that was written down, and she's like, oh yeah, you should give her a try. She's very suave and deboner. Which, like, that's where the whole deboner thing for debonair comes from, like, the joke from that, but it also became a vocal stem. And honestly, looking back, I'm pretty amazed they got away with more or less saying the word boner in a primetime sitcom in, like, 2000, 2001. She's post-op trans. She's been debonered. This poor girl has lost her penis. If she could use yours for a little while, that'd be fantastic. Also, looking back, there was a weirdly large amount of 90s sitcoms where the actor who was in the lead role was playing a character that had the same name as the actor. Like Home Improvement had Tim Allen playing Tim Taylor. Like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith was playing a character named Will. In the show These Friends of Mine / Ellen DeGeneres was playing a woman named Ellen. It's like, why was that such a common thing? Also, I guess other random sitcom fact from the 90s. The very popular and well-known sitcom Family Matters, which is the origin of Steve Urkel, who I feel like his mimetic existence has outlived the show Family Matters itself. The actor Jalil White, who played him, was also the first ever English voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. Jalil White voiced Sonic in The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Saturday morning Sonic the Hedgehog show, and voiced all three main characters, Sonic, Manic, and Sonia, in Sonic Underground. English is the only class in school where I never had a teacher where we mutually despised each other, so I actually learned stuff in those classes. That explains your acute vernacular. Sonic is black-coated. I'm saying... Okay, legitimately, to me, I have always looked at Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles as being black-coated. Especially because, like, to me, Tails reads that nerdy black kid who's not a know-it-all, but you can ask him anything because he literally will know it all. But I mean, especially if you look at classic Sonic stuff, there's a lot of jazz influence, there's a lot of hip-hop influence, and a lot of, like a lot of dance music influence and stuff. Granted, like, all of Sonic's soundtracks, almost all of them are awesome. But there's something special about, like, the classic era soundtracks to me. Because it makes me a little sad, because, like, in Sonic Generations, for whatever reason, they have classic Sonic just not have any spoken dialogue. Which I guess maybe for classic Sonic they're trying to give him like the Mario kind of thing. Which is a little weird because modern Sonic has normal dialogue just fine. But apparently at some point in development they were talking about the idea of having Jaleel White voice classic Sonic. Which would have been amazing. I really wish they would have done it. Also, the ancient Echidna civilization, that Egyptian architecture and clothing. Yeah. I mean, some of it, like, seems to lean a little more toward, like, some Egyptian, some Mesoamerican, but it's like, I haven't really studied up enough to definitively say that. But there's definitely some Egyptian-coded stuff. I mean, hell, Sandopolis Zone in Sonic and Knuckles, which takes place on the floating island. Knuckles Afro-Latino easy, yeah. Oog. Whatchama's so close. Hey, I dodged 100% paralysis chance. Let's go. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I said the thing about English class because words are one thing I consistently have interested in learning, asking the meaning of. Yeah. I think that's really cool, though. Because of the debonair talk. Yeah, I figured it's because that came out, but like... Yeah, I honestly love learning new words and stuff. It's really cool. Or, like, finally learning the meanings of or pronunciations of something that I, like, got wrong or never heard said out loud. Because the whole epitome epitome thing is something that when I was younger I definitely, like, had some trouble with. Because I knew they meant the same thing, but I thought they were just two different words that happened to... Especially because the word epitome never felt like it would be spelled like that. Because, like, I always, like, saw it in my head of being spelled, like, A-P-P... like, I-T-O-M-Y or something. I have a hard time getting the right word while talking, though. I do it well through text, but I have the luxury of taking my time and looking at definitions. I mean, there are a lot of luxuries to talking as well, because, like, if you talk, you're like, epic tummy. But if you're talking, you can just be like, you know, correct yourself and stuff, and it'll only take a second, where correcting yourself in text feels like it takes forever. Ah. No. Oh. Oh my gosh. I am stunned. Goes back to no one having patience for me. I have patience. But I think you more probably mean people that you, like, live with. I kind of take as little time as possible when talking to people. I'm sorry. I hope you never feel that way around me. I think I'm fine with you taking the time you need. Okay. Instead of using paralyzed Cubase, let's actually use the other 2 paralyzed heals and get those just out of my inventory because I do have limited inventory space. Look, I did it. I did a smart. Praise me and give me cheese. It's weird. I guess I'm so used to... Because, like, obviously most of my fin de goop... Okay. Obviously most of my friend group is neurodivergent, so I'm kind of used to neurodivergent people being self-aware and intelligent and thoughtful and knowing how to work around their limitations. Well, not necessarily limitations, but just how, you know, their own quirks, how they operate. So... I always forget that there are a lot of neurodivergent people who are just part of neuronormative society and refuse to have any kind of self-reflection or acknowledgement of anything about that. So they're just sitting there being just like miserable and difficult to be around all the time. Been getting better, but you never made me feel like that. It's just a thing I've solidified in me. Yeah, I mean, it's most of your life that you've had to deal with that, especially the formative first part of your life. Happy to be part of your Findagoop. Hey.
Hello, Tully here. It's a great night for fishing. How's your trip coming along? I can't complain about my fishing. Oh yeah, I lost a wild raticate. It was like huge, like this big even. I guess you can't tell over the phone. I'll be seeing you.
I feel like Tully would, like, definitely be really good at grilling a steak. And yet you never come to the backyard barbecue parties. Ah, I'm too busy catching, battling, and training my Pokemon. Catching, training, fighting, master Pokemon. Does anybody even remember that song? Because I feel like everybody remembers, like, the stuff from the To Be a Master album, but I feel like all the other insert songs from, like, Gen 2 onward and stuff, like, you're completely forgotten, aside from the opening themes. Which, granted, a lot of them aren't of the same quality or memorable catchiness of the Gen 1 songs, but... honestly, even as someone who vehemently hates grilled food, a backyard barbecue party with all our friends would be so fun. I would probably not eat any of the food either, but... it'd be fruit salad. I mean, a fruit salad would just be all of us hanging around together. Why would you do that? We'll just be the little rodents eating their fruit under the shade while everyone has kebabs and burgers. You know, I honestly feel like this area is, like, made for grinding, because you have, like, high-level Pokemon to battle, and then, like, the Pokemon Center is on the same screen. Fruit salad joke you made me smile. Ooh. Also, to tell I'm doing really well tonight, see, when I started the stream, I don't know if you're in here at the beginning or not, but it was completely silent. I was actually inspired by you and what you were doing with your LoonTube thing. So I just made a playlist of songs instead of just like having one song at the beginning of every stream. I'll just like shuffle my playlist, right? So I have my playlist set up. I opened YouTube. I did not hit play. I didn't start any of the songs. I just started the stream in complete silence. Nailed it. Like the Chrome browser with the YouTube page with my playlist is open. Still open on my computer in the background. I never hit play. I'm so talented, you guys. Well, I wasn't here until a few minutes, but yay, happy to be an inspiration. You always are. I hate summer, I hate grilled food, but I love my friends. Excellent work, thank you, thank you. My talent and beauty are matched only by my humbleness. Oh, we are so close. A humble queen. You know, it's funny, because, like, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, you know, Whatchama's almost there. I should just go ahead and just use, like, a small experience candy to go ahead and... No, that's not going to work in Crystal. I actually remember when experience candies were first introduced in Sword and Shield, I was kind of irritated by them. No, try it. Because, like, to me, it felt like one of those things from grindy mobile games. Where, like... they would give you all this stuff to, like, level up new characters or weapons, like flash level them up without actually using them in battle or anything. Whatchama edging us for real. Of course, like, I get really overwhelmed really fast in a lot of mobile games and gacha stuff that'll have, like, fucking 15 different currencies and every single, like, different unit of, you know, like, armor will have its own level up material, and then accessories will have their own level up material, and weapons have their own level up material, and you have like stuff to level up your characters, but like everything has its own different like material you have to use, and then like some of the material has to be crafted from other materials, and it's just like. And there's one thing, and this isn't even a mobile game exclusive thing, but I cannot stand when like the upgrade to something is like, oh, you know, it's like, let's say it's a weapon, it's just like, oh, does 12% more damage to undead, and level up's like, does 16.5 damage to undead, and it's just like, fuck off with that shit. I want to eat one of the candies. I want to know what it tastes like. Experience. Yo, 16.5. Any 16.5ers in chat? Let's go, whatchama. It's Tyranitar time, baby. Big green machine. This hot girl in your area is gonna eat a fucking mountain. Oh, wait. The Pokédex has a search function in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I completely forget. Look at the little Slowpoke with his little book. Tyranitar, the armor Pokemon. 6 foot. The prophecy. Tyranitar's 6'7". Oh my god! Receive it when you need him, right? 445 pounds. In just one of its mighty hands, it has the power to make the ground shake and mountains crumble. Same. Oh, we never did read Pupitar's. It will not stay still, even while it's a pupa. It already has arms and legs under its solid shell. 335 pounds, 3'11". Larvitar. 159 pounds, damn, baby girl, thick. I'm at 67% by the way. It's all coming together. That's what I forgot. The Pokédex actually still has so many options in Gold, Silver, Crystal. Where's Appleton and Johto? Oh, you have to and then when you go to you'll be able to catch it. Oh, sweet. Victory lap. Fierce ass back sprite. Damn, she's so fucking cool. I'm gonna double check it on Cerebi, but if I recall correctly, I think Tyranitar actually has a different back sprite. At least it's different than what I remember. Wait, should the Cerebi show the back sprites? Cerebi does not show the back sprite. Bulbapedia should. Bubcapedia. I'm Googling. Trinitar. Hello, Dad. Game data? I feel like half the time when I use Bulbapedia, it's like kind of laggy. Like the ads will make it lag really bad. I mean, I know they gotta pay for them servers, but like, damn. I don't know why I'm looking this up in the middle of the stream. It's just like, I must know. I'm a professional streamer, you guys. I'm good at this. I'm doing great. I scrolled down too far. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of finding its sprites. Oh, there they are. No, okay, I was wrong. It does not have a different back sprite. It's the same in all three. I know why, you're neurodivergent. Fair enough. I bet issue 2, okay, it's not just a me thing. I wonder where I got in my head that it was different. So I feel like at least 1 or 2 Pokemon have different back sprites in Crystal, but maybe I'm wrong. Now I feel like I have to go through all 251 Pokemon and compare their back sprites between Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Uh-oh. Now we know! True. Whatchama's kicking butt, she's so cool. You know, I trained her up like this, and she is almost caught up with my main team. The ADHD demon is whispering to you. You must know. His knowledge is power. Schoolhouse Rocky, a chip off the block from your favorite Schoolhouse Rock. Remember the autism? One of those. They do be hanging out with each other a lot. I mean, aside from my massive respect for Joe, part of the reason I started using Cerebi more than Bulbapedia is because Cerebi's website is much quicker and more responsive. I mean, he's got ads too, but they just feel much less intrusive. ADHD and autism demons should make out sloppy style. True. Oh, that's generally just a cross-section of what my brain is like. Okay, let's go ahead and move Whatchama. Right here. Alright, Sherbert. It's party time. Literally, you're being added to the party. I think we should be able to evolve Sherbert at level 26. Because that's the level that she'll learn Thunderbolt. Because after that's Agility at 33, Thunder at 41, and Light Screen at 50. And I can buy Thunder and Light Screen TMs if I want them that bad, which I probably don't if I have Thunderbolt. And I'm not too worried about Agility. Pika! Legit, every single time I play a Gen 1 game, it is so hard to find the self-control in my to not add Pikachu to my team. I have used Pikachu so many times. I love Storms, all the Thunder and Light Screen. Like Thunder! Light Screen. The way I love you is frightening. You guys still haven't splorked the Donkus? Oh my gosh. Dorito, stop teasing her. At this point, just smash them together yourself like dolls. Well, I do actually have a certain affection for the Pikachus in like generations 6 through 8 going Pikachu, like in Ikue Otani's voice. I really do like Pikachu's regular cry. Fun fact, even though I don't think it's associated with Gen 2, the Light Ball was actually introduced in Gold and Silver. So I'm pretty sure the only way to get it is to trade a Pikachu from Yellow into Gold and Silver. Or Crystal, obviously. So sad, every Pikachu has light balls. Well, yeah, we use the heavy balls to catch Pokemon. Having heavy balls seems like it would make life really difficult. Like, you sit down and it's just like... I don't know what sound that made in the microphone, me hitting my desk like that. I apologize, / you're welcome. Sounded like a thump on a door. That's more or less what I was going for. Thump on a door sounds like it would be, like, the name of, like, one of the demons from Persona or something. Or Shin Megami Tensei. A bird flew into it. Bird flew? Yeah, they do that. It's like, hate crime? Yeah, of course I do. Crime is terrible. Womp, 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 womp. Road work ahead? I sure hope it does. I am performing a balancing act right now because, like, I am holding my controller and Dot is flopped over the hand that is pressing the A button. Just like the full force of half a cat just draped over my hand. Bless you. I think that Vine has the most staying power. I think it's because the type of humor has become more popular in recent years. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the humor from those Vines like that, like there's that one, the is that a weed? And a few others, Sneezy Plops, have become like kind of pivotal to modern humor, like almost foundational to a lot of modern humor, I think. Though, I'm gonna be honest, if it had to be something from the early internet that had to catch on to influence modern humor, I'm glad it was Vine and not Newgrounds. Hi, Cole. That young millennial elder Gen Z type shit. How are you doing on this lovely Monday evening? Yep, we started the stream by getting a moonstone from Mount Moon, and now we're making some Mouschief with our Pikachu. My unusual, like, Monday stream, because I'm usually, like, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But I actually took yesterday off because I was pretty eepy, even though I didn't end up getting any extra sleep. And Quick Attack was not on my bottom thing. I guess I'm paralyzing the spinner act for no reason. Thank you, Maddie, for once again cutting a worthless object. Yeah, we actually finished leveling up Wachima to become a Tyranitar. She's big and strong and powerful. My apologies if you're watching this on a large screen. It's crazy how many, like, flashing effects. I always thought it was weird, but then I realized these games are probably made to be played on a 2-inch screen on something that is not backlit. Which is what Dot's seeing. I was here a bit earlier, got jump scared by the Pikachu name. What, you don't like Sherbet? She's cute and she's yummy and tasty. In, like, a metaphorical way, do not eat the Pikachu. She's tasty in the way that, like, you would have, like, the word tasty with, like, a giant lipstick print on your purse. And, of course, the word tasty would be written in cursive with, like, all kinds of spangly letters. Which have very similar sounding to my last name. Your last name isn't Tails? Cold sherbet. It's all coming together. Trails of cold sherbet. Trails through the grocery store to get some dessert. Trails through the grocery store because you picked up the 1 gallon of milk that has that tiny little hole in the side and you've been leaving a trail of milk behind you, but you've been looking at your phone the entire time you were shopping and you didn't notice. And then when you get home, you take the milk out and, like, there's this, like, weird tiny little puddle of milk in the bag and you're like, ah, damn it. But it's way too late to go back to the store to, like, return it. But then you'd have, like, this drippy thing of milk you have to put back in the car and take back, so now you just have to fucking live with it. So you kind of drink a little more milk than you normally would because you just want to get it, just, like, get this gallon over with so you don't have to deal with it anymore. We all have tiny little holes when we're starting out. It's okay. It's true. Oh, those PlayStation Network Cure Berries coming in handy. Actually, let's go ahead and give her a PlayStation Network Cure Berry. Since I'm fighting all these Spinnerax and they're all gonna have a 100% Poison Sting chance. Bellsprout. Wiggle your neck. Everybody wiggle your neck, chat. I did have one instance of that. We didn't put it in a bag. It was in the back seat. Oh no. Didn't know until we opened the car door. Oh no. That tragic. Oh, that must have been horrible to clean up. And milk is one of those things that if you don't get right to it and clean it, you will smell it for the rest of eternity. Bill. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, it's just the whole thing, just like in the moment, sucks really bad. Zubat. Shorty got a Zubat. You know she want a new bat. She knows I got the best in town. You know, I really actually like Hoothoot a lot. I wish there were more opportunities to use it, because unfortunately in Generation 2 it just doesn't really learn that many moves. Hoothoot's mostly like special defense and special attack. Especially Noctowl. Noctowl's got that thick special defense. Owl. I was the one putting away groceries when my dad cleaned it, but it couldn't have been more than a small sip. Need more owl Pokemon. I mean, the ones we have already are peak, so we do definitely need more. A Ghastly. Yo, we got the 6-7 experience points. Man, we are really hitting it tonight. I know I posted the I know I posted it in Kubi's Discord and on Blue Sky, but I absolutely cannot believe that the freaking card matching game in Animal Crossing that one time actually came out with 6 and 7. Like, that is unbelievable. Also, we do have our pretty pack. Peter Parker pulled a pack of pretty peckers. Yeah, that's right. Doodly-doo. You know, completely random thing. Is like, it's weird learning, because like, I got in this like super deep fixation phase of learning where all the samples in Sonic Rush's soundtrack come from. And that led me into this rabbit hole of learning just how many things I thought were original to specific songs were actually just samples. Also, the whole in-the-house-like carpet thing that has become something of a running joke and was parodied by Toby Fox isn't even like an original thing. That's just from a sample CD. It's actually slowed down for the Trinity Soul ones, too. If I've ever seen an owl in real life, I have, like I've seen like once or twice. I actually had one outside of, outside my bedroom one night. Long, long ago. This is like more than 15 years ago. Like just on the tree, outside my bedroom, just hooting as loudly as possible. I'm a vocal stem of mine, thanks to you. I'm sorry, / you're welcome. Aren't you just the most special girl ever? I am. Oh wait, I'm a mouse. Uh-oh, good thing I had a wall between me. I could have been dinner. I mean, I know like a lot of birds of prey do eat mice. Especially like hawks. But what's a hawk to a special mouse girl like me? Nothing. I'd just be like, nah, I'd win. You always do have a hole big enough for a cat to fit through. So if they wanted to, they could... I don't think an owl would fit, I hope. I know who has. Your mom. Oh, pew 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 pew. Wow. That was me doing the MLG gamer. Wow. I did Sonic 3 Bubble Shield. Wow. Probably. I should ask. I'll ask my mom, does anybody have a Ouija board I could use? You know, Maddie, I just noticed you typed wow. My brain is just not doing it tonight. I hear them sometimes out my window, but never see them. You know, I think I've only like seen one once, but I do hear them every now and then. You know, I wonder if Boobs got the nickname Hooters because, like, they kind of do look like a stylized owl, you know, with, like, the nipples being the eyeballs and stuff. Because, you know, owls have, like, the little dots, but then they have the big fluff around their eyes. But that does make me wonder, is, like, was the slang term Hooters invented by the restaurant? Or did it exist before then? I feel like it's definitely more well-known because of the restaurant. Like, I feel like it probably would have antiquated, even though Hooters is actually shut down. It's tits and boobies, birds, blessed curses. I mean, birds are everywhere. Like, cock also comes from birds, so... For whatever reason, our sauciest body parts are birds. But actually, generally, birds' like breast area is pretty strong. That's actually why the Pidove evolution line has the ability Big Pecs. Though, honestly, the ability name being associated with birds is just a wonderful pun. The only bird I ever see is a hummingbird. And it was nice because it specifically came up to me for a little bit. And then flew up. I've been enamored with it. Aw, that's so cool. The only one? The only one you'll ever see up close. Yeah. I don't really remember too terribly much about the movie, but I do remember getting a Happy Meal from Pocahontas when it like first came out when it was in theaters. And one of the like mascot things for that was a hummingbird. It was like green. It had a really cute design, and I've always had a fondness for hummingbirds ever since because I had that toy and I played with it a lot. Seen some outside, but only brief glimpses. Yeah, I've never seen a real one like really up close before, so that's actually really cool, Cole. Hi, Dana. Mott, it's me, Dana. My Flaffy is getting prettier. I've been taking photos galore. You know what? A wild Raticate got away from me again. It was so close. Really, just a little bit more and I would have... See ya! Bye, Dana. Sorry, but I so much headcanon Dana as having ADHD, just trailing off in mid-sentence and then hanging up the phone call that she started because she got distracted to do something else. Okay, crazy as it may sound, getting to level 12, Sherbert should be graduated enough to where she can take on stuff around Goldenrod. It seems like a big jump. I wish it was more socially acceptable to do stuff like that. That's why I do try to be understanding with people and stuff. Because like I said, I feel like if my views on my Twitch VODs are anything to go by, I have a pretty big audience of people who like to lurk and or just watch my VODs. Which like, hi VOD watchers, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you so much. Not being acceptable doesn't stop me, but it'd be nice there not to be consequences. Well, at least there won't be with me. Hi to all the mice in the walls. And hey, there's Rattata shaking that booty. Mouse fight! Uh-oh. Oops, all Rattata. I think I take a little too much damage to justify how little experience they give out. No offense, Rattata. I forget I have like 90 berries, so I can just like use a berry. Honestly, that's like my biggest, I guess one of my biggest Gen 1-erisms is I completely forget to give my Pokemon items when I'm doing regular playthroughs. Like, I'll remember if I'm doing competitive, you know, like team building and stuff like that, but when it comes to just, like, normally playing the game, I just will completely forget to give items to my Pokemon. Even though there's, like, no penalty for having them, and there's a lot of them, like, leftovers and stuff that, like, they don't get used up. And with the berries, even if they do get used up, you know, the game provides you with plenty of them. Especially gold, silver, and crystal. Okay, Sherbert, wake up. Thank you. Can't wake up. Ooh, 174. Hell yeah, let's freaking go. Too sleepy mouse. It's true. Dee-dee-doo. A purple Pikachu? Oh my god, is that the shiny? It's Pika Perp. That just sounds like they're a criminal. A shiny Sherbert. It'd be grape flavor. I'm gonna hang out in these foregrass tiles. Drowsy and, like, Hypno are low-key really good. I feel like in Gen 1 they get overshadowed by Alakazam because everything gets overshadowed by Alakazam. But it's like... I think I mentioned before I did a playthrough of Silver, my playthrough of Silver on my 3DS, which I specifically was trying to use Pokemon that I had either never used or hardly ever used. So I ended up using a team of Weepinbell, Hypno, Nidoqueen, Stantler, am I blanking on the name? Lantern and Fearow. Which, Fearow, okay, I've used Fearow quite a bit. That was still like, and I've used Lantern before a long time ago, but it was still a fun and really unorthodox team. Like, Hypno really came in clutch a lot. Especially because Hypno can learn all 3 elemental punches in this game, too, and they're all special attacks still. Also, Stantler can learn Earthquake with the TM, and was also surprisingly came in clutch a lot. Also, really fun interaction, and I'm pretty sure it's in Gen 2, is if a Pokemon uses Minimize and you use Stomp on it, I'm pretty sure you both... Stomp does extra damage and you don't get Minimize's accuracy penalty. So I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that does work in Gen 2, so Stomp can be really handy, especially because I'm pretty sure Koga in the Elite Four likes to have his Muck use Minimize. Bit rude, though. I love little move interactions like that, like when a Pokemon uses Fly, you can still hit it with, like, Gust or Twist there, or Thunder. Okay. Everybody grab your sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice. I got my water tumbler. And go ahead and take a nice big sippy. I am filled with Mizu. I'm probably gonna wrap up stream in a couple minutes. I'm super hungry and it's almost 11 o'clock. Can you hit a flying Pokemon with Thunderbolt? Not Thunderbolt, but you can hit it with Thunder. The way that I remember it is that Thunderbolt is always shown coming out of the Pokemon using it, but Thunder comes down from the sky. Thunder is interesting because it's not a very good move on its own because of its accuracy, but it has a lot of really cool interactions, because remember, Thunder also skips the accuracy check if used during rain. Though Rain already went to bed, so you can't use it right now. Let's get Sherbert to level 15, and then we'll call the stream after that. Dang. Honestly, it's always hit me that, like, Kyogre can just learn Thunder with the TM, and it's just like, you guys just really did that and thought it was okay, huh? Why can't Pelipper learn Thunder with the TM? It hasn't felt like, yeah, really, like, it's been a really fun stream. Like, I looked over at the clock, and I thought it was going to say it was been, like, you know, just now been maybe, like, hour number 2, but no, it's been almost 3 hours and 40 minutes. But I guess that means you know we've been having fun. As a great frog once said, time is fun when you're having flies. Yeah, it's always fun. Ooh, thank you. Abra, wiggle your feet. Goodbye, Abra. Yummy flies. Oh, also that reminds me, I haven't played it much yet, but I actually got a really good price on the PlayStation 1 Frogger game from eBay. It's cool because it takes like the Frogger single tile bounce formula, but adds in like a bunch of different platforming challenges and stuff to explore. It's really neat. It's one of those games that's like always been in the periphery that I've always wanted to try, and a lot of other people I knew grew up with it, but I never got to play it until recently, obviously. I just really love the original PlayStation. Let's stream every PS1 game, asterisk. And by every PS1 game, I mean all the ones I like. Not sure if it's edging us. Living on the edge, hotter than intensity. All way to the sherbet zone. I like my ice cream in a cone. When your friend Bert says something dubious, are you sure, Bert? You are forgiven, my son. What am I doing? Look at me actually using those things I have spent 6 months farming. 6? 7? Yeah, February's almost over. Shit, February's almost over. Shit. I think Sherbert used her berry a minute ago, so I could probably give her a mint berry. That's things like, I love Pikachu and Raichu so much, but like their biggest thing is like they do not have any physical defense whatsoever. Chocominto. Actually, you know what I haven't had in a good while is like a Mounds bar. I love Mounds. Weirdly enough, not the hugest fan of Almond Joys, because like I like almonds, but not in my candy bars. Sherbet wear a blue bell. They're on the way to visit Dairy Queen. Yeah. And one of her best friends is a blue bunny. Which would be our Azumarill. Oh, speaking of, I remember the thing I brought up and then completely forgot to say. Okay, over at Walmart, I got two new little squinky squishy friends. They had the official Squishmallows of Meryl and Belly Bolt, and they were on clearance for $3 each. So I bought them both, and they are now in my room, and they are very soft and squishy, and they get hugged. I really like Meryl a lot, and I feel like it's one of those favorites of mine that just doesn't come up that much. I was curious, so I checked, and you've been streaming since June 9th. Fishy kitties. Let's go eat that berry in your sleep somehow. That's more than 3 hours. Yeah, I should probably get something to eat if it's been almost 7 months. Not really. I don't know why I feel so tempted to just poke these Abras before they run away. I wanna run away, never see good boy. Going on 9 months, actually. Damn. I've streamed long enough to have a baby. Soon you'll give birth to your stream, baby. Twinkling double team. Goodbye, Tellip. I'll probably never use double team either, but it's conceptually cooler. Let's go ahead and heal everybody up. You have to get more cats and name them Com, Gov, and Org since you have Dot. I don't know why, but I'm infinitely amused that one of, like, you know, I have Dot and Julia Michelle Heinemann. I mean, I'm always a big fan of pets with just regular names. I have no idea what compelled me to give Julia a full government name, but that's just, she's just Julia Michelle Heinemann. What can I do about it? Save again, because I don't remember if I hit save or not. JuliaMichelleHeinemann.com or gov. Look at me wearing my funny shorts. I wish it would show the badges for Kanto on here too. It always made me a little sad that it doesn't. I do like the spinning animation though. She practices law. I practice, but I'm not very good at it. Or Yakko and Wacko. Damn it, I accidentally... Damn it, Okay, sorry, it's Arnie. We love you, Arnie. You awake now, Mots? Hey, let's battle our Pokemon. I won't lose to you in battling or in the bug catching contest. I'll be here on Route 35. Let's talk again, huh? Okay. Since it's Arnie, we'll go battle him before we end stream. It's my turn to win now. I've turned over a new leaf. Might as well get Sherbert to level 50. Infinite Stream. No, I am not Kubi. I am not gonna stream for 7 hours. At least not this time. Are You Awake is kind of funny at this time. Anyway, fire. Fire! I do think it's funny in phone calls, he still calls this a Venonat. Like, I guess since he doesn't have a Pokedex, he'd just be like, wow, my Venonat turned into something different. It got a lot more powerful. Huh, I shouldn't have lost that. If I spot any awesome Pokemon, I'll be sure to give you a call. Venonathan. Yo, what's up, Venonation? Venomoth is very cute. I love Venomoth. Dude, Venomoth is one of the Pokemon that got the best of the 3D models. It just looks so damn adorable from Gen 6 onward. Like, it still looks cute with its older sprites, don't get me wrong, but like, its 3D model with the big eyeballs is just wonderful. Let's see if Doritu has successfully splonked the Doinkus. I'm not doing a very good job of ending stream. Nope. Damn, get to it, bro. What's up, Venonation? Finally, a literal toxic streamer. We're finding side quests to get distracted, but I'm very good at that. I'm aware and same. Fun fact. One day I accidentally spent 9 hours playing Legends ZA. I had a bunch of other things I meant to do. But because ZA's gameplay loop is like so incredibly cohesive to constantly playing, because like it's like ADHD crack, because just like the exact amount of time that it would take you to kind of get antsy about doing one thing. It like switches to nighttime or daytime or something. So it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm a bit fed up with battling, and then it'll rotate to daytime. It's like, oh, well, I'll go catch some Pokemon and do this and this and this, and like, it just keeps you playing. It's a wonderfully well-designed game, but it's one that like I have to manually manage myself to make sure I don't just sit there and play it all day. Toxic streamer, but they're the sweetest person, absolutely. Kind of like Roxy in Black 2 and White 2. Like one of my favorite gym leader designs, honestly. Yeah, okay, it's been almost 4 hours. It is after my full boxes are all that's keeping me from hunting for everything. Hopefully when I'm hoping that they'll announce home compatibility for ZA on Pokemon Day, if not sooner. Because, like, my boxes aren't full, but I'm running pretty low on space in the games, too. Okay. Good night, cuties. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm gonna eat something yummy. Probably do my Animal Crossing dailies and then go to bed. But unless I feel completely awful, I will see you guys tomorrow for another stream. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.